Earlier this morning, we said, man has not the power to put into action his innate desire for goodness. He is wicked because he is weak. This is true. His drives are too strong for him. They are the three subconscious drives: self, sex, and the herd instinct. For his own moral and spiritual and social development, man needs nothing so much as he needs some power to cleanse these drives in the subconscious, coordinate them, and consecrate them. I would like to just offer 4 very simple steps that which is so pivotal and so intimately real may become our experience as we come to renew the covenant with God. The Holy Communion has a part that you and I very seriously are called to perform. God has invited, and we accept that invitation so that the covenant will be renewed. 4 very simple steps. The first one, recognize your need. Only you can do that. Nobody else can do that. Your spouse may be aware of that, but their recognition of your need will not change you. It has to be the recognition that says, I've had enough and I want to change. A couple got married. Couples get married everywhere. They do in Dallas also. And sometimes, for others, they are a mismatch. This couple was like that. She was enormously large, and he, in comparison, was very feeble, weak, slim, thin, emaciated, whatever you want to say. But love is blind, and so they got married. But the first argument they had after marriage, we all know that we do argue, don't we? The first argument they had after their marriage, he was running and she was chasing. She had a hockey stick in her hand, and she was much more a threat than the mere bulk of her being. He ran and finally crawled underneath the coffee table in their living room. That's the only place she could follow. So she stood there with a hockey stick and said, "Hey, John, come on out of there or I'm going to come after you." John, from the safety of being under the coffee table, said, "Mary, I want you to know I'm the boss. Right now, I decide to stay underneath this table as long as I want to. You cannot do anything to change that because I'm the boss of this house." Some of us have been beaten and we are under the coffee table, but we have the false statement, "I'm the boss." I can conquer any time I want to. Question is, why don't you want to? Subconscious affirms itself over your conscious decision and rattles you. Who can help to change the dominance in my subconscious level? Only the Holy Spirit, God in residence. He alone can change the situation. If we work with Him, victory at unusual levels are possible. The covenant that we come to make is an acknowledgement that says, only at this transaction level, anything can change. Lord, help me. Recognize your need. Come out from under the coffee table and quit claiming what is not real. Know that only when you acknowledge what is real, He can help you. Recognize your need. Secondly, respond totally. Leave nothing of this debilitating, repetitious cause of failure unconfessed. It may have started when you were a teenager. Look back. Let me again plead with you. Be courageous for once in your life. Look back and say, this ought not to be. I know where the roots are, and I'm going to pull the roots out. Pull it out. Confess. It might have been an improper relationship that got you into the bondage of habitual sinning. Turn back, pull it out, own the rottenness of that beginning, and ask the Spirit, the one who can change things, to transform from the beginning on through to the present time. Recognize your need, respond totally. The third thing, receive the power, the Holy Spirit. Oftentimes, when the Holy Spirit is described, we associate His presence with power. And we get carried over immediately with the power syndrome. This person is the one who bears the evidence of power. If you seek a person for the power, you do injustice to that person. No friend who has self-respect will want to be friendly when he thinks or knows that we seek his friendship only for the benefit that we receive. Be honest. Own that you are weak, but seek the Lord, who is the Spirit. He is God. There is no pretense with Him. I don't know if I'm speaking where the truth can be realized. There is no way we can do a false transaction with the Holy Spirit. Be open, be honest, and own with Him a transaction in which you say, I am helpless. Please come, fill me. And lastly, release the power. Do not be a spiritual hypochondriac. When you start driving back home, don't keep all the while feeling for your spiritual pulse beat. If He's got you, He's got you. You're dealing with God. And an yielding to Him is an yielding in which there is no testing, in which there is no wanting to know. Show me, let me know. It is God, and the transaction is the straightforward transaction of a creature yielding into the hands of the Creator. The Holy Spirit will cleanse, coordinate, and bring wholeness into the subconscious level, if you will. I tell a story, and I'll sit down. A story I have told many times before, and I will tell it as long as I have a chance to tell it, because it illustrates what must be communicated, probably at a very simple level. Two little children lived next door to each other, maybe in Dallas. And they were 5-year-olds, and they played regularly with each other. His name was Bob, and her name was Kamala. Is that okay with you? You want me to change the name? I'll change it. His name was Bob, her name was Kamala. Bob was crazy about marbles. He played with marbles all the while. And he was great in any game where marbles were involved. That day, he had the best of his marbles in his pocket, and he came out to play. Kamala's folk had given her Cadbury's chocolates. She had her 2 hands full of Cadbury's. Cadbury's were Bob's second love. But they did something that the marbles could not do. They made him salivate at sight. Looking at the Cadbury's, he began to plead with Kamala. He said, "Hey Kamala, you're driving me crazy. Give me those chocolates." Kamala said, "You give me all your marbles, I'll give you all my chocolates." Bob thought this was sitting below the belt, but salivation is an irreversible action. You have to do something. So he put his hand in his pocket, felt for that blue marble. He loved it so much that he could identify it by the chips that were gone on the surface. He felt for it, pushed it aside, pulled all the other marbles, and with a straight face told Kamala, "Here, you have all my marbles." Kamala, the trusting girl, emptied all her Cadbury's chocolates into Bob's hand. Bob thought he came out ahead and that he was smart. He took about 7 steps away from Kamala, peeled one of these Cadbury's chocolates, put it in his mouth, chewed juicily, but stopped like a pillar. He turned around slowly and said, "Hey Kamala, did you give me all the chocolates?" You know why? The blue marble was irritated. Cheating Johnny, cheating Bob, couldn't trust. A covenant is a very, very sacred place. Stupid question, but are you listening? Please, take time. Empty. You gain nothing by hiding. Palms open, hands down. Empty. Don't hold on. You don't have to. He will hold you. There is one who can cleanse you, coordinate you, and make you whole in the subconscious. He is the blessed Holy Spirit. The covenant brings you into that realization.